Welcome to Politics and Psychology. I'm Dr. Renee Carr, your host. And as a psychologist, I serve as an advisor to political leaders and corporate CEOs. And on our podcast, Our Time Together, I also give you advice and information that is unbiased and based off of true, unbiased science that you can use to inform your decisions and to understand what's being promoted in the media and comparing that with truth that may not be so readily available. So today we're discussing ChatGPT and how it's related to lazy, uneducated, and less creativity. So let's get started. ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence technology tool, and it's using algorithms to give answers to questions. And the answers that it gives are very detailed, human like responses in a text form, but it can also create images and music. And this technology tool was introduced and made available to the public on November the 30th, 2022, from a company called OpenAI. Open meaning it's given out freely, open to the public, and AI for artificial intelligence. So, OpenAI is a technology research company, and it had a few founders, one of whom was Elon Musk, who is no longer with the company. He actually left in 2018. But the current CEO was also a co founder, and his name is Sam Altman. So, this company, OpenAI, it started out as a nonprofit in 2015 and switched to a for profit in 2019. And it claims that its mission is to, quote, advance AI in a way that benefits all of humanity. And that's the challenge and the problem that I have with ChatGPT, just based off its current use in society. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So, what is ChatGPT? So, chat meaning to chat like a conversation, and GPT standing for generative pre-trained transformer. And what it means is that it generates language, images, music. It generates an output based off of pre-trained information or a pre-trained data set. And if you look at or listen to episode 42, when I talk about AI pedophiles, I do give a description of how algorithms work and how we have to have input and how input is used to then create or generate child sexual abuse material or CSAM. So this is the same information, so I won't belabor the point and go into that again. But if you need a refresher, then please go back and listen to the first few minutes of the AI pedophiles, which is episode 42. So it's a generative pre-trained transformer, meaning the technology transforms the input into an output, and that output is taking numbers from the algorithms like the zeros and the ones and the other technology coding for the algorithm, and then it's producing text. And it produces text in a way that appears to have a language and a human response. So it's called a language model for that reason, because it's taking the numbers from the algorithm to generate a text or a language that appears to be a very human like detailed response that can be used as is for an essay, writing a movie script, a journal article, or just even having a or appearing to have a conversation with you. So think, for example, in your own life about a customer service online chat you were engaged in. So that usually would be a chat bot, so like a chat robot feature, and you're asking it questions, or it may ask you questions. For example, it's for a banking. It may ask, okay, are you looking to open up a checking account or a savings account? You click on checking. Are you looking to deposit money today or not to deposit money? Are you looking to make an investment? Are you looking to withdraw funds, transfer funds, wire money? So it will ask you questions, and it will appear as if it's having a conversation based off of your last response. But like with other GPTs, generative pre-trained, it has pre-trained responses based off of pre-trained input. And so that's what makes it appear to have a conversation. When we have ChatGPT, ChatGPT was created by the company OpenAI, and I explained what GPT is, but GPT is actually a group or a collection of GPTs owned by OpenAI. So it's a collection, meaning it's not just one GPT. And Chat GPT is just one of the GPTs of this over 100 GPT collection that OpenAI has created. And then Chat GPT is just a chat bot that uses GPT, and it uses it to produce text data in any way, and again to appear as if it's a human conversation. It also can produce what appears to be a human written document or a human drawn animation or a human drawn image or even a human produced song. So when we think about the social implications of how, contrary to OpenAI's goal to benefit all of humanity, what we will show is that yes, it does have some very good uses, but it's also being misused and also promoted by OpenAI as a way for selfish ambition and selfish needs being met rather than the true benefit to others in your society or others in humanity as a whole. When you look at the language of OpenAI for their marketing of this app, they market it as an app and they use pretty innocent sounding language. For example, they'll say it's for quote unquote instant answers, creative inspiration, and learn something new. They also add in different ways or examples to try to get you to see the value on how you could use this app. And some of the examples are: make this recipe vegetarian, plan a college tour or plan a fun dinner party, help me with gift ideas for my dad, write a thank you note to my teacher. So these are very innocent sounding ways that, of course, okay, well, that sounds pretty straightforward. I do need help creating a fun dinner party. So that would be something. But what ChatGPT is actually being used for is to eliminate human thinking and to eliminate human creativity. And that's because the individual most likely to be attracted to ChatGPT are individuals who don't want to think and who don't have the creativity ability or who don't have the ability to have critical analytical skills or problem solving ability. And so they're using this application to be able to get an outcome or produce a product that would appear to reflect them having expertise, competence, or education in a field, an issue, or on a topic that they don't really have any information or ability about. And so that's one reason why it's being misused. And also because ChatGPT has over hundreds of customized GPTs, the two main ones that are most often being misused are the ones for creative writing and math tutoring. And so it's being used by high school students, college students, even at the graduate level to pass tests, to be able to have take home exams, or even on their phone inside the exams. They're using it to produce content that they don't have any true knowledge of and haven't learned. So then when these individuals graduate, they have a degree, but they don't have the actual education behind that degree. That's similar to individuals who buy honorary doctorates. So, honorary doctorate certificates, you are either buying them usually from some international school and usually from school that has like a ministry title attached to it, or International Ministry of Zimbabwe, something international, and usually ministry because their accolades or achievements for a doctorate in a ministry is different from one that's actual research based oftentimes. Or it may be an organization that's a business organization, a social club, or an actual school. Could be an Ivy League school that's giving these honorary doctorate certificates to famous individuals, not because they've actually earned them, but because by giving them to a famous person, that's free marketing for them to be able to say that this person received not a degree, but a certificate from our school, and therefore they get the bonus of then having individuals who adore or idolize that famous person going to that school, and therefore they get the tuition revenue from that. And it's prestige fraud because they don't have a degree, but usually individuals, they'll buy these honorary certificates to then label themselves as doctors and then sell programs, sell books, or promote themselves falsely as doctors, unbeknownst to the public that they shouldn't be calling themselves doctors, but they do that so they can get the benefit to them, but they really don't have the expertise. This is the same thing with individuals who have degrees or who have completed projects or completed research articles or any work based product using ChatGPT. Is because they're either one, being lazy and don't want to do the work, and they might have the true ability and potential to do it and to do it well. But by being lazy, this gives them an out to not have to do the work, to not have to do the thinking. Or it may be that they just don't have the creativity, but they want the benefit of it. And this is what you'll see in social media oftentimes. There are individuals who are using Chat GPT, labeling themselves as quote unquote influencers or bloggers, and they're really just using Chat GPT generated content to make them appear as if they have interesting topics or expertise or knowledge in an area that they really don't have, but they're able to use the technology to their benefit to then exploit their users or followers. The app is also being used to pass medical licensing exams. So imagine you have a person who has actually gone through medical school, so they actually have completed the doctoral level education. But if they were unable to pass the medical licensing part of it, ChatGPT has been shown to consistently be able to help individuals pass medical licensing exams. So you have an individual who went to the school, completed the courses, but could not pass the more stringent final exam for licensing is, in essence, operating or practicing unethically because they didn't truly complete the licensing requirement, but that they may be your doctor or they may be trying to promote themselves as a fully licensed or fully credentialed doctor. And that can have huge impacts, not on the benefit to humanity, as OpenAI would suggest, but to actually hurt individuals who are operating without true knowledge or expertise. You also have individuals using OpenAI in the news realm, and they're using it to create articles that are in high end newspapers, national publications, or even local ones. But by being in a national publication from a trusted media source, this article being created by OpenAI or by ChatGPT, it's then setting up precedents for this was published in newspaper A, and therefore I'm quoting it off of a newspaper, thinking that they would have done due diligence to check the source of the material or the authenticity of the content. If that journalist does not do that, if someone is quoting that newspaper article, then it will continue to repeat. And the more that information continues to be reprinted or used in references or in quotes, then that further gives credence to that falsely produced or inaccurately produced AI content from ChatGPT as a true article. But in actuality, when you do research, it has shown, even since 2022, that the articles are able to be produced by using false quotes from false experts using false data. This creates another social issue or a compounded social issue because of individuals such as legislators, educators, or even us at home watching TV are listening to this content and it appears to be expert produced or expert spoken, then it's actually false information that's going to be believed to be true and then acted upon. So that's not healthy for humanity, but it's actually using technology to give misinformation, which can be biased, which can be psychologically harmful, and also scientifically false. From a creativity standpoint, ChatGPT is being used by individuals who don't have true artistic abilities, and they're using it to create images that appear hand drawn or appear to be human inspired. So, logos is one thing as far as creating a business logo, that's not a big deal. But when you're producing content and it appears to be actual artwork, and then you are then monetizing that content that wasn't really yours, then you're trying to establish yourself as an artist, and it really wasn't you who even has the art copyrights to it because it's actual created by the chat GPT. You also have individuals who are using the app to create songs, to write comic strips or cartoons, and even to produce movie scripts and television episodes. The chat GPT marketing also includes asking it to help you, quote unquote, brainstorm ideas. But when you brainstorm ideas, it would imply that you have a brain to generate ideas or possible solutions. And by using a computer to do that, it's further eliminating any actual problem solving, critical thinking, or creativity by the human who is looking to create whatever this output is or to decide on some newfound solution. And so it's not really helping humanity actually become more educated or to improve our efficiency. It's actually creating an America or a society where there is less education, less expertise, but more false prestige or false accomplishments or false creativity because it's not really individuals creating anything new. It's a computer chatbot that is assimilating all the information that has been input or quote unquote pre trained, and then it's generating, which is the GP, and then it's transforming it, GPT, into an output that makes it appear as if it's one whole product. So ChatGPT is a tremendous contribution to the growth of technology and artificial intelligence. However, it's an equally great disservice to humanity in that it's allowing artificial intelligence to reduce the actual intelligence and the actual accomplishment of humans and the ability to think creatively or to problem solve. And it's encouraging individuals to, again, to be more lazy and to be able to be rewarded by having an accolade or an outcome that they did not produce. And with that product actually causing more harm to the end user or the customer, the consumer, the patient, rather than actually helping them. Chat GPT is also being primarily used by lower skilled cyber criminals who are looking to create new phishing scams or new scam scripts. So, like if they're calling you with a script on what they're saying to try to get you to believe them so that you can send them your money, then this is often by lower level cyber criminals using this chat GPT script to create words to say to you that would make themselves believable. It's also being used to hack into different accounts because, again, the technology is able to use code cracking or code creation to then break into accounts and to go through firewalls. And as I mentioned in the AI pedophile episode, it's also being used by pedophiles to create or to generate child sexual abuse material to create pornographic images of children. So they are then misusing the image creation part of the chat GPT to then create an image, and they can take a face off of one person, putting it onto the body of a child that's, for example, in a modeling magazine or a kid that they took a picture of at the playground. And they can then create these images as well as videos of the child appearing to be engaged in abuse or a sexual abuse act. And they can even put the face of celebrities onto that child or onto that sexual abuse scene to then try to incriminate a celebrity or another individual as if they were the ones performing the abuse. So, although ChatGPT is a positive progress for society as far as technological advances, it's a huge setback when individuals are not using it for small things that could benefit just themselves, like making a recipe, planning a kid's party, or even when it comes to saving money. For example, ChatGPT has an audible feature where you can play a sound. So if your car is making like a screeching sound, and you ask it, what does this sound mean for my car? What's wrong with my car? Why is it making the sound? It can help filter out what that audio sound is and give you possible diagnoses on what the problem is with your car. And you can get it accurately fixed without paying a bunch of money for a diagnostic exam from your mechanic. So, those are things that it can be used in a positive way. But when the content from ChatGPT is being used to misrepresent yourself or misrepresent a person or to misrepresent your skills or to promote plagiarism or to promote misinformation or create child pornography or more creative ways to scam the innocent victims. It's these selfish ambitions and the exploitative use of the ChatGPT app that make it harmful and not a benefit to society. One way that we can help improve the utility and the effectiveness of this app would be able to either have some type of metadata markers or stamps to let images be shown that it's an AI produced image or AI produced content or AI produced song that could then help individuals be honest in their reproduction of this AI generated content, or using AI detection or chat GPT detection software to detect if a student or an employee is submitting work or content that was plagiarized or not even created by them, but used by AI instead. We can also have guardrails in schools when it comes to professional or healthcare licensing to ensure that the ability to use ChatGPT is not available when they're trying to pass these exams or to earn a degree. So these are just a few ways that we can use ChatGPT in ethical and honest ways. We can also have conversations about potentials for misuse and how to protect either our workplace or our students from misusing it. And of course, we can also continue the conversation with your friends, with your loved ones, or in your communities. But remember, when you do, have the conversations using science and
Walk the path of light. And if you run too fast,